Hey, there you are. Peaches and Stud Bonker here. Some friends of mine invited me over for lunch, and I told them I'd make some rolls. So I was going to show you how I would go about that. Yesterday afternoon, I made up my roll dough, which is pretty simple. I'll put the recipe in the description. But I wanted to show you how I divided up this dough and how I'm gonna roll it into rolls. You going somewhere, Peaches? So I got my pan, it's all greased up, ready to go. I used a little butter, but you can use whatever you want. And what I usually go for is about 15 rolls. So you want to try to get it as even as possible. First off, you can't be dealing with odd numbers, so you take one and you say, oh, that kind of looks like a roll. Now you got one big one. Try to find the center. Excuse me. Now you got two pieces. You need 14 out of these two pieces. So again, you got an odd number. You don't want that. So try to cut off what you think is going to be another roll. Now divide that in half, and then each one into thirds. Like that. Same thing over here. Take one off. That looks a little big. Divide this in half, and then this into thirds. And if they're not quite the same, you can make adjustments as you go. Now, this is a little bit tricky. If you if nothing else, you can just take the edges and fold them in until you get a nice smooth surface. That's one way of doing it. But I think it looks a little big. I prefer this way. You don't want to have too much flour on your surface because you want it to grab. And what you're trying to do is make like a cage with your hands. And you start rolling like this. You might need a little bit of flour, depending on how your dough is. Try to just let the dough spin around inside your hand, and you'll get a nice smooth surface like that. It takes a little practice. Just let the tips of your fingers touch the surface. And make like a little round cage for that ball to go in. If you're just starting out, I would just try one hand at a time. But sometimes I'm left-handed, but on this right one I can get it close. And then I'll move it over here. I try to work it at the same time. It's a little tricky. Like that. And then switch it over. And don't need any beard hairs in the rolls, do we, Peaches? Like that. Of course, you're not going to get them all. It's getting a little sticky. You're not going to get them all the same size. So just make a few adjustments on the fly here. dough gets too sticky, you can add a little more flour. Alright, I'll tell you what, that's okay. It's simple, but hot rolls are quite a treat. Tell you what, we're supposed to eat at 1 o'clock. Right now it's 11:15. After I get these rolls made up, I'll stick them in my oven with a pan of boiling water and let them rise for an hour. And then I'll bake them at 350 for about 15 minutes. Still is a little bit sticky. Okay, here's what my rolls look like. Should have 15 of them there. All right. Now I'm going to stick them in the oven. And I'll set the timer for, I set it for 45 minutes. And then when the timer goes off, I'll turn on this oven and get it preheating. And I'll let it raise for another 15 minutes. Here I got a pan of boiling water. Oops, that wasn't very graceful. Alright, so that'll make a nice warm, moist environment for those rolls to raise in. And in 45 minutes I'll turn on this oven, and 15 minutes later we'll start baking. Alright. Well, I got my rolls all baked up, and unfortunately I was running a little bit late, and I didn't film myself pulling them out of the oven, so I don't have any film of the finished rolls. I apologize for that. That's kind of a tease. But let me tell you, they were good. They came out just fine. I ended up proofing my rolls for about an hour and 20 minutes. It's a little bit longer than normal because my dough was cold, because I'd made it the night before and refrigerated it. If you're making your dough in the bread machine the same day, you should only have to proof your rolls for an hour. And so then I baked, after I got done proofing my rolls, I baked them in the oven at 350 for about 20 minutes, I think it was. So after 15 minutes, you want to keep your eye on your rolls. You know, ovens are different. So, and I tell you what, the hot roll, it's really quite a treat. They say that the quality of baked goods starts deteriorating 10 minutes after it comes out of the oven. So the quicker you eat something, some type of baked good, the better it's going to taste. So if you can plan it out that your rolls come out about a half hour or so before you eat, that's about perfect. Anyway. They're not expensive, it's not complicated. It takes a little bit of time in planning, but it's really quite a treat. And I don't know, people love hot rolls. Well, that's about all I got for now. If you have any other suggestions for videos about baking, leave them down below in the comments, and I'll see what I can do. I'd like to I do have a little bit of baking knowledge, and I would like to share that with people if I could. So, take care, friends. I'll see you down the trail.
What a good bird.